Oh yeah.
Oh, we live.
And we are
Come
here,
on, man. What's going on?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I got
Tennis.
dishes in the back. Oh my goodness. What is going on? Facebook Live, YouTube. Are you live on Facebook? All right. As always, you know we started tennis. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Gentlemen of Crypto episode. What is this? 54. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. What's up, P-Man?
I am King, of course.
I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we are here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community.
Oh my goodness. Every day is beautiful.
Every day.
Welcome back. You know, we just coming off a great day yesterday with 11K plus. Of course, we saw that retracement, which is expected. You know, people are definitely taking profits. What's going on, Alexander? Sumitri, what's going on?
Thanks for joining.
So yeah, for the new people who just joined, I know some people are freaking out. The price might dip even lower to 8,000.
Yeah.
Possibly it could go down, you know, anywhere from 7,600, 7,800 to 8,000. That's because we do have new people in. So it is blurry, right? I said the same thing.
I don't know.
Is it still blurry?
Yeah.
I don't know. You know how we do, people.
Yeah.
We trying. But yeah, so you know, Len Smut. Okay, yeah. What's going on, Merrill? So yeah, you might see the pullback all the way back to 8,000, 7,600, exactly the dip. Yeah. For those who are new, don't freak out. We know there's a lot of new people who are panic selling already, which is driving the price down even further. However, we are not really worried because when it goes down to that 7,600, 8,000 mark or 9,000, where is that earlier today? As you see, people are buying it right back up. And if it does, yeah, if it hits 7,600, like we're jumping on top of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's a good thing. And, you know, it's happened already now over a dozen times this year. So, you know, just literally a few weeks ago, we saw, you know, another 20 or 30% dip after it went up to when it hit 8,000, went right back down. So we see it all the time. It's happened over half a dozen times. Like I said, this year, it's healthy, it's good for the market. Expect the volatility to continue. Expect those dips to keep going down when the price keeps climbing up. It can't do that forever. I mean, next time it hits 12 or 13, 14,000, expect the same retracement because people are going to take profit.
Oh, yeah.
You have to remember, some people got in beginning this year at 1,000. Some people got in last year anywhere from $200 and something to $500. So we're gonna buy and hold. We're gonna see that. That's healthy. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't freak out. Don't panic.
Yeah, I would say a healthy pullback to the 8,000 range sounds about right. I think most people are looking at, you know, fib levels, and I'm pretty sure somewhere between 8,000 and 8,300 if you're looking for a good entry, somewhere in there. If it goes below that, you know, right now we're looking at a reversal in the market for a small short term, because you got to remember, nobody wants to short it to zero. Everybody who is shorting it is looking for a point to exit and get out, and then let Bitcoin do its thing. Like I said, it's the biggest bull run in any asset history,
Right.
Period. There is no asset close to this, and so you don't want to short long term and think, oh yeah, it's gonna go down forever. No, it's not. Just like it doesn't go up forever, it doesn't go down forever. Physics is still part of trading. So until that changes, don't panic, and you shouldn't even be. Most people that just bought it, you shouldn't even be thinking about selling for at least another year. Yeah. So you know that's how you should think about alts down too, but that's alts. Yeah, they jump and go back down usually. So
and we also we did point out yesterday, you know, the only way I think it's really going to take a severe dip is that we're going back up already as we speak. But the only way I think it's going to take a severe dip is if once again everybody's banking on this CME thing, and of course, you know, I'm only breathing positivity in the air, positive energy. I hope it happens too. But I keep telling you all, CME. They are a business. NASDAQ, that's a business. These are all businesses. They don't have to tell you when they're going to release anything. They don't have to tell you when they pull something off the shelf. And the reason why I say that is because, again, we're banking on CME as well as NASDAQ, as well as Novogratz. Their interest into the market is going, I think, is really going to heavily depend on what happens with the debt ceiling and all that stuff we have going on here in the States. So with that being said, if, you know, I think President Trump just actually tweeted yesterday or today, you know, market's doing better than ever and it's great, which is weird and random. He would just say it out the blue.
Yeah. And some guy actually put on Twitter, it was like when developers start tweeting the price of an altcoin, that's like a red flag. So the same thing with when the person who's over the economy is all of a sudden euphoric about how good it's doing. Sort of a red flag as well.
So, but yeah, with that all being said, you know, like I said, the only thing I think that can really severely pull back the price, you know, mid-term is going to be CME or NASDAQ, one of them coming out in December all of a sudden saying, well, actually, we're not going to do our futures yet. We're going to wait till Q1, Q2. If that were to happen, I definitely see the price dropping again. I mean, the levels can go as low as 6,000, 5,000. That happens, but once again, I think it'll be sustained because people buy it right back up because we now see where we can go.
Oh, yeah.
So that's an important thing. But keep that in mind. You know, CME and all that. I know everybody's banking on it, but they're a business. They don't have to go through with anything they're saying right now. This is all. It could be a marketing ploy for them, what they do with traditional investors. So. Keep that in the back of your head with all that being said.
Yep.
Free Bitcoin for yesterday.
Yep. So from yesterday, we got Michael the Jedi and Enlightened Source just sent that Bitcoin to you from before as well. So everybody has received the free Bitcoin. Please don't put any comments saying you haven't received. I've sent it to everybody.
We might have one person. I think Michael Mason. He might be the last one.
Maybe, but I'm pretty sure I sent it to them too. So
all right.
That's
so we caught up with the free Bitcoin people. As always, if we forget to send it, it's not intentional. You know, we run around, but just keep pinging us like you always do, and we'll make sure we get back to it. We don't take it personal. Just keep hitting us up and be like, hey, you forgot to send it.
Oh yeah, and thanks for watching.
So wait, what was the free Bitcoin? What did they say or?
From yesterday?
Yeah.
Didn't read through it all the way, but they were basically when we were talking about
Malcolm said he didn't get. All right, we got you, Malcolm. I got your address still here too.
That's what we're talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
Malcolm Mason. Okay, all right, I see Michael Mason. All right, cool.
Oh yeah, I did say the wrong one.
Yeah, that's all good. So yeah, that's what all right, cool. But yeah, yesterday they won from that. Good comment about who's gonna be one of the best people to talk at Consensus from a couple days ago. And I like that comment with Abigail Brown. Also, Jeff Garzik was a good one as well. And for those new people, Monique, Bayo, Takia, thanks for joining Paris. If you don't know what we're talking about, the Consensus Conference was going on earlier this week, which is a big Bitcoin conference, blockchain people who meet up. And usually at conferences, when somebody says some good news or puts out some good information, the price jumps. Depending on what industry it's in. So if it's more of a business, you know, people just kind of listen. If it's somebody who actually runs a cryptocurrency or has a cryptocurrency, then you start seeing like the Ripple jump whenever they had the conference, Ethereum Classic, and on the way to their conference, a big jump. So yeah, that's what happened.
Depending on what they say, you will see if it's sustained or it goes down or everything.
Oh yeah, so it is important to keep up with stuff like that because that can affect the price as well. So. Garzik didn't watch Garzik. I watched a couple other ones, but yeah, didn't really get into Jeff Garzik. You know, he's all good. Yeah, but
all right, so good stuff going on. You said we got a new Dino of the Day today, right?
Oh yeah.
And P-Man Van, want to give a shout out to him. He sent us a new Dinosaur of the Day sound. I haven't had a chance to check him out, so we're gonna listen to him. We might have some sound effects coming for you all soon. Thanks, compliments to P-Man Bands.
Get some Velociraptor noises in there.
There we go. All right, so Dino of the Day. Who is it? What do they do? We got every day.
Every day.
Even at 11, even facing 11K, they come out and say the craziest things.
Well, like I said, it's a government. It's a Turkish government, the country of Turkey. Turkey, basically, their government came out and said that they can't control Bitcoin, so it shouldn't be used. Like, that is literally in the sentence that we can't control it, so you shouldn't use it. And they said it's not suitable for Islam, which is hilarious because, you know, in America we take it for granted, but separation of church and state is actually a very important value to have because everybody's not religious, everybody isn't political, some people don't care about either one. But when you combine the two and basically say our government is the hear all, see all of Islam, and it's not good for Bitcoin. That's how you start getting these people in control, saying outlandish stuff like that. So from the Turkish government, good luck, because every person who said that before, Russia, Venezuela, I mean, go down the
other
list.
people taking the same stance. Yeah. Russia said it a couple days ago. China said it a couple days ago. What's the best site for margin trading? What's the max leverage you recommend? We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, so Turkey, and I want to remind people, they actually banned PayPal.
Wow, before. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so back in the day, they couldn't control PayPal and they banned it. So you gotta look at the history of what some of these people, because even if you're just hearing it, if you're a new person, Google the name of the people or the country with Bitcoin, and you'll see a record of them doing this, and a lot of people changing. Like Russia flipped, totally. China fake bans it like every month. So I wouldn't read too much into it, but I will say they're admitting to you, we need control. What else do we have? I mean, because
it's out of hand. It's out of hand.
Think about governing bodies outside of signing the papers that create the rules that run your life, what usefulness do they have if people stop listening to them? So that's sort of where that's coming from. And you know, they keep saying it's for money launderers, but cash is still king in the money laundering game. Right. So let's see. Not forbidden by his. Oh,
yeah. So I mean, it's crazy. So are we talking about the whole entire Turkish government? We gonna give them all Dino of the day?
Yeah, all right. Y'all.
Turkish government.
Jurassic Park of the day.
Yeah, we're gonna have this sound effect for y'all soon, but let's make it official. The whole entire Turkish government. You are the Dino of the day today. Mm-hmm. You know, you're still living in the past. You get it. I mean, they get it though. That's the thing. I know they get it. And to piggyback on that story, I want to go ahead. I'm not gonna give them the Dino of the day. But the Bank of England came out and said something amazing. I love it. Even though I don't believe, I think they're actually saying they throw people off the trail anyway because they know what they're doing as well. Yeah. But the Bank of England Deputy Governor Sir John Cunliffe, I think it is, has claimed that the leading crypto, Bitcoin, poses no real threat to the global economy and financial institutions. Now, I'm very happy he said that. Kind of goes back what Andres Antonopoulos said. If you all haven't checked him out, make sure you go watch all of his videos, like literally from top to bottom. You want the best understanding of the space between him and I know like Chris Dunn does great videos. That's where we learned a lot from. But, you know, I remember he did a speech, I think it was like earlier this year or last year before. He was basically saying like, great. He wants governments to continue. He wants governments and banks to continue sleeping on this thing for at least another year or two so we can continue to buy and accumulate Bitcoin at low prices. Because the minute that they do actually say this is a problem to our financial system, they come out and say it, which they haven't. Everybody's skirting around the issue. Yeah. But the minute they say that is when you're really going to see that price rise and people go crazy as far as buying it. So, you know, for that deputy director, Sir John Cunliffe, I'm glad you said it. The only issue I have, he also said, this is not a currency in the accepted sense. He said there is no central bank that stands behind it.
Good.
Here's the great. First of all, great, perfect. Yeah.
But what has it gotten us so far?
Again, here's the problem. You're telling me since a private bank run by citizens doesn't stand behind a currency, then it's not real. Are you? I mean, for him to even put that out there and people read it and digest it without a second thought, to me, is the biggest issue in our financial market right now. A business runs. Put it like this: what if Bezos, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, and every other big billionaire in the world, you know, let's say the top 10, top 20 billionaires in the world, who we know control, I think, like 90% of the world's
resources,
resources and wealth. Yeah. So let's say the top 10, top 20 billionaires came out and said, hey, let's just start our own private bank. And you know, and fund the entire world as far as financing. Yeah. Are we now going to say, well, it's not a real currency unless these top 10, 20 billionaires okay it?
Yeah, what makes them more important and what makes them the decision makers for your money? That's what these people are like turning into your parents. Like, I need to tell you what to do with your money. You don't know good enough. So, sort of a slap in the face.
It is a huge slap in the face.
The way these people talk about, you know, a currency run by the people. They supposedly represent the people. And, you know, right now it's at 300 billion. Which is 0.3 trillion on their scale because they're on the $1 trillion scale. So he's right. It doesn't affect it now, but they've been saying it for years and years. And by the time it does, they're going to come out and, in my opinion, they're going to blame maybe a crash or maybe a loss of capital on Bitcoin. I've seen that theory floating around too, is that most of the biggest plan they have or people can have for Bitcoin to discredit it is to say, well, the reason the economy got bad is everybody was buying Bitcoin.
I wanted to buy that bit. We tried to
buy into our economy, and then people would laugh and say, "Well, okay, well, I can buy houses with Bitcoin now. I can, you know, use it as assets. So whatever. Who cares about the fiat? And when it happens, I'm telling people, it happens quick. It doesn't. It's not one of those things that's gonna linger for a few days and you're gonna have time to prepare. You're gonna need to now, and one of the best ways is to have cryptocurrencies to use. So,
and all that, just talking price for a moment longer. When that price shoots, like we saw the last couple of days, as fast as it shot. Now we know it's going to, retrace and come back and everything, but imagine what's going to happen when, was it Ledger, I think, that came out that's finally, that's allowing institutional investors, CME, when all this Wall Street money comes in, when all this institutional money, not just the United States, when the institutional money flows in from the UK, throughout Europe, Asia, when all that institutional money comes in, you do have investors who are worth, upwards 100+ million, who say, you know what, 10% of my portfolio might be 10 million right now. When they start making those buy orders, that price is going to skyrocket, and you will not be able to keep up with buying it. I mean, you're talking about trying to buy Bitcoin. You know, you used to be like, can I buy 0.000, you know, 0.003? I think they're calling it, what is it, point at 4 decimals, the Finny now?
Finny.
Yeah. Can I buy a Finny of a Bitcoin? So when that happens, it's going to be way too late. So
oh yeah, and I would say people that look at the markets, the price rises because of volume and because of the momentum of buying. So what he's saying is, if you have $100 million, let's say, and you want to buy Bitcoin, you're not going to buy $100 million order at one time.
Right.
So the momentum of buying is going to be, they're going to keep buying $10,000, $20,000 orders over and over and over and over really quick. And then people like yourself who can't really you'll start seeing the price flash. You'll be like, what is going on? Like people are buying it. And I believe that'll come sometime next year, right, to an extent. But I believe we'll have to see some sort of economic change for it to do the $100,000 mark, which we'll pop some champagne for $100,000 as well. So
you're gonna keep seeing the bottles improve too.
Yeah.
They're like, man, a few months ago they had this, then they had that.
Next bottle will be tall as this.
Right, you know. But no, it's a good thing. This is a healthy thing in the market for the pullback. I'm actually glad to see a lot of our supporters and stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, I remember when we first kind of got started, whether it just be text messages from people we know around, you know, the States or upstate, like, should I sell? And this is like, wait, what? But now they're actually getting comfortable with, it dropped 20%. Like, that's about right. It just went up $2,000 in like 24 or 48 hours. Like, it should drop. 20% is a fair drop. So we're and somebody said, there we go. James said it was at 9,800. So back up that quick, people. Mm-hmm. So again, expect a lot of volatility leading up until, like I said, I think December 8th to December 10th, we should hear something about the U.S. debt ceiling. Yep. And then, of course, we're going to hear something after that with the CME and everything. So expect a lot of volatility then. And again, depending on what the U.S. does with the debt ceiling and depending if CME actually launches, because, you know, I do look at that risk factor. Depending on they actually launch, that is going to determine a lot of what's going to happen with the price and volatility.
Absolutely.
So another big thing that's going on, of course, which, you know what, I got to take a deep breath on this.
Oh, my God.
Coinbase. How much do we strongly dislike you?
Jesus Christ.
Coinbase is calling it a win or a partial victory. Because, you know, finally Tuesday, California federal court, of course that would be California federal court, ordered the popular exchange Coinbase to turn over records of thousands, specifically about 14,000 customers to the IRS. The requested records include the name, birth date, address, account activity for any user who bought, sold, or sent or received more than $20,000 worth of Bitcoin in their accounts between 2013 and 2015. The order marks the end of a year-long battle between IRS and Coinbase that began last November when the IRS sought those records. Now, here's the problem. For one, it's not a partial victory, Coinbase. I don't want them to even, like, Coinbase, come on, we know you were going out for the institutional investors, so of course you're going to say that. And here's why it's not a partial victory. For one, they didn't even believe in it. First of all, like it's a reason why they're coming, and it's a reason why they're coming to the game late, saying, "Oh, well, yeah, we actually want to back order all these records you have when we didn't care, but now we do care, so we want to see them." Mm-hmm. Which in itself to me is crazy because that's like having something that's legal technically, then you're saying, "Well, now it's illegal, and we want to go back in time and look at it."
Yeah,
and see, that's a great point. Does this affect people outside the U.S.? Highly doubt it.
Exactly.
Highly doubt it. So you're telling me our IRS is going to be sending out, you know, agents overseas to foreign countries to figure out who's been dodging on the American taxes?
Oh yeah.
Highly doubt it.
And how can they backtrack the taxes? Because will they do it in Bitcoin denominations or dollar denominations?
And are we backtracking losses?
Exactly. Because if you lost money in during the Bitcoin when you sold, do you have to pay capital gains on that? Like it's such a,
it's convoluted.
Yeah, it's such a big thing for them to have to go through on top of they're not letting people buy Litecoin. A few people texted me this morning. It was like,
so the IRS has a blockchain department. Go ahead.
Yeah, the IRS. Yeah, they have a blockchain department. They have a dedicated team they've already created back in 2015. However, I believe they've been doing more research the last few years to try and figure out how they can attack it. And the first point of attack is Coinbase. So if you were making over 20, or if you had over 20,000 in there back then, well, they'll look at it. But to me, it's going to be a big needle in a haystack trying to find these people in these transactions as far as how much they're going. I guess they're going to timestamp it. It's to me, it doesn't make any sense. But Coinbase is already having their own problems. They've increased, I think, their volume times 8. And they can't keep up with the volume. People can't buy, people can't sell, people can't use Coinbase right now. So they got their own issues to worry about. This IRS thing definitely isn't a win, because I think this is the first step for them coming back and taking all of it, like a strong arm. Like, okay, well, we either want it or we're shutting you down. And like somebody was saying before, the price tanked back when Mt. Gox went away as an exchange. I can only imagine if you wake up one morning and Coinbase is offline, what will happen, you know, to the price, or what will happen to the new people who just got into it. They're like, well, hold up, what do I do now? So you got to make sure you have backup options for exchanges. Gemini, Uphold, local Bitcoins, Paxful. I mean, we talk about them all the time. And you got to make sure, like I said, it's not easy to get now. It's getting harder.
They're making it harder intentionally.
Yeah, because the demand is so high.
They don't want poor people to have it.
Absolutely.
I've been telling we started telling people that last year, or actually last year to the beginning of this year, when it hit that 1K mark. And that's when, for us, you know, actually it was before that too, but definitely when it hit the 1K mark, Coinbase started disabling accounts for people who were trading. Which, you know what? Now that I see, it might actually be a good thing for, you know, for everybody who's Coinbase disabled their account. It might be a good thing, because they might be disabling accounts for people buying trading lots, so they can be like, hey, we trying not to get you tied up in this IRS thing that's about to come your way. So maybe that's what it is. But and this is why I say it's not even a partial victory. The way the government works, people, they go for everything. They came in first and they say, hey, we want all of the accounts you've ever taken in, period. Which is, of course, is unreasonable. But the reason why they do it is because it's any type of negotiation. Their game plan is to start high, meet somewhere in the middle. For them to get 14,000 accounts, that is a big win for the U.S. They shouldn't get any of those accounts. It's a private company. And the one thing I feel like all of our citizens, not only here in the United States, but abroad as well, keep forgetting is that the government works for us. They're supposed to represent us.
Absolutely.
So the fact that they're getting in these rooms and making these decisions, I haven't seen any talking points or any people on mainstream news channels or any votes to just talking in America right now. I haven't been solicited for my vote of, hey, do you think we should start taxing Bitcoin? Because that's the way the government should work. They should be asking the American population, your government overseas should be asking you, hey, how do you all want us to proceed with this? Not, well, we're just going to do it this way. Like, no, you're not.
You got to play both sides, because if, like somebody just said, they won't refund losses. Well, this is my thing is, if the government is saying explicitly, we're going to tax you on what you make, well, then you need to come up with a federally insured way for people to get their losses back. Because if you're the government, you're going to control it or try to do some type of control. You can't just say, oh, yeah, we're going to tax your gains, but you're not protected if you lose money in this market, because that to me is
that's the craziest
thing. They're not going to protect you with losses, which to me is good because it keeps you self-sufficient. But it also means that paying taxes is something that should only happen if it's converted back into U.S. currency. If it's still in Bitcoin, you shouldn't even have access to anything. You know what I mean? So like you said, they shouldn't have gotten anything. But it's the IRS. They come in with the suits, looking like Mr. Smith from
that is exactly what they are, Mr. Smith.
Yeah, 2,000 Mr. Smith show up,
right?
And you defeat one, and 2 more spawn. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy, but that's basically what's going on with Coinbase. So if you're worried, if you're thinking about, I will say every time the price goes up, exchanges get real funny. Volume goes through the roof. So that's why you want to make your moves when it's silent. So when it's loud, you can exit, sell, or just kind of sit on the sidelines and not worry about it. So just something you gotta deal with in crypto. If you're new and you're panicking already, go ahead and get out. Just stay out for now, because to me this is less panicky than before. So yeah, just manage your risks.
Crypto Q said, basically said, we're gonna have to stand up for ourselves. You're not feeling it. He said it's not even about taxes, it's the principle. Exactly, it's theft.
You said it wasn't real 5 years ago. That's what I was told when I was first in Bitcoin. People was, that's not real money. We can't do anything with that. But so that means you can't take it. Let me keep my fake money, and y'all just do what y'all do with your paper dollars.
So we're gonna answer a few quick questions real quick. P-Man Van said, do you think that the $10,000 price is still the psychological barrier? Yes, it is a psychological barrier, because people want to cash out their price. You know, so every time, I mean, I think right now when it just hit the 11 whatever, we did get a lot of those weekends out, and we did get a lot of profit seekers out. So when they buy back in right now, there's not like a lot of profit being made unless you're buying in with huge orders. I mean, I'm talking like 50K to 100K plus. There's not like a lot of profit, even scalp traders. So I think 10,000 is a psychological barrier, but I think we really passed that just now with a lot of people taking money out. So next time we hit it, I think we should be able to sustain it. That's my thought. I mean, we're right there right now. Somebody said we're at 9,800.
Yep.
Let's see. P-Man Van also said, he heard if we buy and take it out right away, there's no way to see how much money you've made. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm not sure what you mean, but
it
like
depends
on
on
Coinbase,
the exchange.
Yeah, it depends on the exchange. But yeah, if you just buy it and take it out, yeah, absolutely, you're right. The exchange doesn't have access to what you did with it. They just know you bought it. So that's why.
Oh, you mean like that? Yeah.
That's why we always say
buy
on the exchange, move it to a wallet.
Yeah, they won't.
And for those of you who still have it sitting on Coinbase, I might just put out a whole video how to get off Coinbase.
Really? Yeah.
That's most people's question right now is, okay, well, it's on Coinbase. I got it, so I can't access it. What do I do now? You got to move it off into another secure wallet, and you got to make sure you manage your risk, split it up into different wallets. So, yeah, how to get off Coinbase? That might be a good idea to do later today.
Bitcoin Base, are the orders placed on Coinbase able to be shown on the GDAX order books? Oh, that's a good point. I'm not. Are you
orders placed on Coinable?
Or Coinbase, I think. That was a misspell.
Coinbase. You can use your Coinbase account to place GDAX orders. Coinbase and GDAX are together. They're the same thing. So you can use your Coinbase account to buy on GDAX for margin trading or whatever you want to do.
Gemini, kind of in the same boat, but not. So they do have their New York bit license. For long story short, for those who remember what happened to bit license, a New York legislator went ahead and said that you all have to have this New York license to operate a Bitcoin exchange. It drove out a lot of people in the industry out of New York. Of course, that comes because Wall Street owns New York. We all know that. So he made this bit license. Of course, Winklevoss twins, they come from institutional family. They jumped in. They're doing a great job too. But that same legislator, I forgot his name too. But the same one who passed the legislation like a year or two later left government to go private, open up his own private practicing firm, as well as everyone who worked for him left to go do their own private thing. And then he started consulting for New York bit licenses. So that shows you how shady that is. But somebody else, Med for Jeffrey asks, or he said, please suggest another route to buy coin. So again, you can do Coinbase. There's peer-to-peer. There's local Bitcoins. Gemini. Uphold.
Face-to-face.
Yeah, Ben Lawsky. There we go.
Ben Lawsky, yeah.
So there's a ton of other ways. There's decentralized exchanges where are coming big. And I know in the comment sections, Malcolm Mason, a week or so ago, he left a great comment. You all can go back on that when we were talking about exchanges, decentralized exchanges. But he left a great comment of like 3 different ones to use. But also, a shameless plug right now for the seminar we're doing this weekend. The $10 seminar. We posted links in the video, or whatever. But that's one of the things we're going to be talking about is different ways to buy it. Once again, it's a broad seminar, but that's one of the ones we're going to cover. Is like, hey, these are different places whether you want to go exchange or peer-to-peer or decentralized. Here are some ways you can do it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so what else we got going on today?
Well, some great news for Bitcoin. For those of you who are like, well, I want to buy it, but what can I use it for? We're slowly getting to a point where you can pay rent with Bitcoin.
Big win.
Yeah,
big
so
win.
we've seen people buy a house in the UK, buy a house in Texas. I think somebody bought a house in California, but now there's a company in Brooklyn, New York called Govt. They're actually offering a way for you to pay with Bitcoin through the Coinbase payment processor. So basically, you pay in Bitcoin, they get cash, and it's a timestamp for when you send it, so the volatility doesn't affect it. So yes, this is real, people. People who think, oh yeah, if I have Bitcoin, what will it do for me in the future? Well, if it increases in value the way I think it will, you're basically setting up your kids and grandkids later on down the line to be able to pay in Bitcoin, an asset that for right now is appreciating tremendously in price. So I will say, right now, that is huge news to me, because once one does it and it's successful, or a couple do it, hey, you start getting apartment complexes. Some of these building owners start thinking to themselves, hey, I'm making okay money, but if I accept in Bitcoin, this may be worth 10 times more in a year. So those of you in real estate who are big real estate bugs and think that's the only way forward, you got to realize there is something that is going to change your entire industry, and it is Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Because if you start being able to pay in it, that legitimizes it as a currency. Because currently, right now, it's better as a store of value. I use it as currency every now and then, but it is a great store of value so far. But moving towards the medium of exchange, yeah, it's getting real close to that time. Lightning Network coming with 0 fees, instant transactions. You can pay rent now with Go in Brooklyn, and you also have Salt Lending. They're starting to have blockchain assets where you can use it to buy a car, buy a house. So yeah, trust me. Big news, big news.
And again, people, one of the great things right now is that wherever you go, when you go shopping, when you go to gas station, just start asking them. Do you take? We everywhere we go, we ask. We ask everywhere we go, and I tell you, you know, for those who are just starting to see our videos, we said like I think it was a month or so. No, it's probably about 6 weeks now or so ago. At the last place we were at. Right next door was this little gas station, liquor store, or it was a gas station. We used to go and get coffee and stuff. We used to ask all the time, like, you guys take Bitcoin, all that, and literally within like a month or two, they got a Bitcoin ATM, a brand new one.
I showed the employees how to use it.
Right? Yeah, the employees didn't even know what it was.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, we got that thing over in the corner. I was like, you don't know what it is? And I showed them how to do it. Shout out to them because the two guys I got to buy it, who I showed it, they bought it at the $5,000 level. So whatever they put in that day, they've already doubled it. So shout out to them for, you know, listening to me. They saw me in my Bitcoin hoodie so much they were like, "All right, man, come on, man. What are you talking about?"
And even with the where we're having a meetup at, the bar we're having a meetup at, they're kind of familiar with Bitcoin. They don't accept it yet or anything. They're not too familiar with it, but they're already looking into it. Like, all right, tell me more about this. So
absolutely,
whenever you go places, just start asking, especially if you're a repeat customer. Again, if it's something of value, especially even if a merchant doesn't believe in Bitcoin, the fact that they know that if you can show them or have somebody show them that, hey, I can just take whatever this imaginary thing is you're saying and I can turn it into fiat, perfect. Absolutely. They're not turning down ways to take money. Every business person knows that. You don't turn away ways to take money. You figured it out.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So I think that's good. Another question, somebody was asking, where's the best place to margin? Oh, my goodness. It's like construction going on. Somebody was asking, where's the best place to margin trade and how much should you leverage? So, of course, you know, everything's changing. I know BitMEX is good. Kraken, but you know, it keeps going down. Poloniex used to be really good. The amount of leverage, it all depends on your comfort level, how much you're gonna watch it. Yeah, see, I was just about to say that, Bitcoin babe.
Never 100x.
Do not do 100x. So for those who don't know, you can margin trade, you can leverage up to 100 times your value, but that window is very small. The window of what's it called? I can't even think of the words right now.
Liquidation.
Yeah,
I've seen people get liquidated the second they buy because they don't understand, you know, how things work.
The margin is shorter. So if you leverage it 100 times, you might only have a $20 window, of change before that thing's get liquidated. Yeah. So he said exactly 100 times red.
That's a terrible time to do it. Yeah. It's going up 30, 40, 90.
You don't know where it's gonna go. Yeah. So you know, I was just about to say, times 3 to times 5 is good if you are certain about, you know, make sure you do your own research, do your due diligence. But if you have done your due diligence and it's something like, perfect one, this wasn't able to trade on margin or leverage, but when Neo or AntShares rebrand as Neo, everybody's like, okay, this might be a big thing. It turned out to be a huge thing. When that happens, you have those dates. Or perfect example, we posted on our Instagram today, the Ethereum Classic hard fork that's coming up December 11th. I think they're going to drop it down. You know, the blocks drop down 20%, and then on December 12th is the official fork, whoever. So we know that's coming. So Ethereum Classic might not be a bad idea. However, just because it's happening doesn't mean it's going to increase in value. So do your own research. But this is just an example of times where you can say, okay, this hard fork's coming. 20% of the value, or 20% of coins out there are going to be, you know, gone. They're going to stabilize and everything. Maybe this is a good time to go 3 to 5. So those are the opportunities where you can see it. But again, you have to do your own research on that.
Oh yeah.
What else we have?
That's all for me.
Is that it? We're at 33 minutes too. Perfect timing. All right, what are we going to do today for the free Bitcoin?
For the free Bitcoin, let's see. Let's see. Well, what do you want to pay with Bitcoin? I would say, because now that you can pay rent, what's something that you would say, I wish I could pay for it with Bitcoin instead? Because some people, you know, they buy altcoins and then boom, they have a big increase in the number of Bitcoin. It's like, oh, cool, I can use this to buy something. What would you like to use Bitcoin to buy? Put in the comment section. Like I said, you can pay rent.
PG-13, people.
PG-13. Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of options out there. I mean, but trust me, yeah, there's a lot of things you can buy with Bitcoin that will make it a lot easier. Just comment, and with the best one, we'll make sure we get that public address and send it to you. All right.
And Amber J over here, she asks, so what is your recommendation for selling right now? Should we be holding them for now?
Hold.
Yeah, hold.
Always hold.
Hold. Like 2018 is gonna be a great year, people.
Hold it.
2018 is going to be a great year for Bitcoin. Think about it. Most people right now don't even know about Bitcoin until this year. So what's going to happen next year? You know, I already told you when the regulations come in February, all that good stuff. But what else happens around February to May timeframe, which is why I think it kind of popped last year from May to June? It's tax returns, people. people are about to get tax returns,
Oh, yeah.
and they have been waiting to buy. They might not have enough money up front as far as, you know, they might have felt discouraged. We've had a lot of those like, well, is it too late? Or I can't buy a whole Bitcoin, whatever. But when people get these tax return checks from March to April and May, expect that price to boom again. I'm calling it right now. We talk to people
personally who are literally like, I'll put a little in now, but when my tax refund comes, it's on. And I'm like, perfect, because you already setting yourself up for future success by thinking about investing or using it for something better than whatever, you know, frivolous stuff you usually use it on. So good times.
All right, so hey everyone, thanks for watching. As always, make sure you subscribe at Kirby Crypto, KRBECRYPTO. You can check us out on our website. Again, we have that seminar for beginners coming up this weekend. It's $10 from 12 p.m. to 1:30 on Saturday, and we'll put that link in there. We already got I think about 50 or so people, so we're capping it at 100. Make sure you get that, and we'll be sending out the ways to pay today. For you can do it PayPal, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all that good stuff. And then also, yeah, thanks for the ongoing support. We truly do appreciate it. If you like this, if it helps you out, make sure you give us a thumbs up and share it and all that good stuff. And yeah, let's bridge this gap between crypto and the community.
Absolutely.
All right, take care.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna stare at YouTube for a second. Cheers.
Cheers, P-Man.
What is going